For years, many people believed their constant fatigue was simply part of getting older. The puffy face in the mirror started to feel like another unavoidable sign of aging. But for some, the answer turned out to be something surprisingly ordinary: a food eaten almost every day: bread. Some researchers have explored whether highly refined grains may contribute to inflammatory responses in certain individuals, although results can vary. In the first few days after reducing foods like refined bread, some people begin to notice small changes in how their energy and hunger patterns feel. Foods made from refined grains are quickly broken down into glucose, which may lead to repeated rises and drops in blood sugar throughout the day. Over time, this pattern can push the body into a constant cycle of managing those spikes. To keep blood sugar within a stable range, the pancreas releases insulin, a hormone that helps move glucose into cells so it can be used for energy. Insulin also plays an important role in how the body stores fuel. When insulin levels remain elevated for long periods, the body may become more inclined to store excess energy rather than use it immediately. That is why frequent spikes from refined carbohydrates may contribute to cycles of hunger and fatigue for some people. When foods like bread become less frequent in the diet, those rapid swings may gradually calm down. Insulin levels can begin settling into a steadier pattern, and the body may slowly shift away from constant storage toward using available energy more efficiently. As your blood sugar patterns begin to stabilize, many people notice a surprisingly calm change in how their energy feels. It is the quiet feeling of natural hunger. Instead of sudden cravings at 10 in the morning or that familiar mid-afternoon energy crash, your appetite may start to feel more predictable and steady. For some people, this change happens when foods that cause rapid blood sugar swings become less frequent in the diet. Bread and other refined carbohydrates can be quickly broken down into glucose, which may lead to cycles of rising and falling blood sugar. Over time, those shifts can leave you feeling hungry again not long after eating. When some people reduce those foods, the sharp ups and downs may begin to settle. Blood sugar can become more stable, and energy levels may feel more consistent throughout the day. Instead of chasing the next quick snack or relying on extra caffeine to push through the afternoon, your body may begin finding a steadier rhythm. It becomes less about fighting cravings with willpower and more about your metabolism gradually returning to balance. Once those repeated energy swings begin to settle, many people notice a quieter but very meaningful change in how hunger feels. Instead of sudden cravings appearing in the late morning or the familiar mid-afternoon slump, appetite may begin to follow a calmer and more predictable rhythm. Meals can start to feel more satisfying, and the urgency to reach for a quick snack often becomes less intense. For years, frequent exposure to refined carbohydrates may train the body to expect fast energy throughout the day. This pattern can create a cycle where hunger seems to return soon after eating, even when the body has already received enough calories. When foods like bread are reduced, that cycle may begin to shift. Many people describe this stage as rediscovering natural hunger cues. Instead of constantly thinking about the next snack, they begin to notice clearer signals from the body about when it truly needs fuel. Eating becomes less about fighting cravings with willpower and more about responding to a steady, balanced rhythm of hunger and satisfaction. When the mental fog begins to fade, many people start noticing changes in their digestion as well. For some individuals, foods made from refined grains can be digested very quickly and may contribute to feelings of heaviness or bloating after meals. Inside the gut, certain bacteria break down these carbohydrates during digestion. That process can sometimes produce gas, which may help explain why some people feel uncomfortably full after meals that include foods like bread. Reducing bread and similar foods may gradually change that experience. Many people report that their stomach begins to feel lighter within the first week. The constant sensation of tightness or pressure after meals may begin to ease. Some even notice their waistline or facial appearance looking a little more defined. In many cases, this shift is not necessarily the result of large amounts of fat loss yet. Instead, it may be linked to reduced bloating or changes in water retention. With fewer digestive disturbances, the body often begins settling into a steadier rhythm. This stage can mark the transition from early adjustment toward deeper internal balance. After the early bloating settles and digestion begins to feel calmer, the body may enter another important stage of adjustment. Much of this change involves the gut lining, a thin barrier that works like a microscopic filter. Its job is to allow nutrients from food to pass into the bloodstream while helping block larger particles and unwanted substances. Certain foods, especially those made from heavily processed grains, can be difficult for some people to tolerate. Over time, frequent irritation may affect how comfortably the digestive system functions. When heavily processed grain foods become less frequent in the diet, some people report that their digestion begins to feel calmer over time. By the second week, many people report that their digestion feels more settled and less reactive. The gut lining naturally renews itself at a rapid pace, constantly replacing older cells with new ones. With fewer irritants present, this process can continue without as much disruption. Gradually, the digestive system may begin working more smoothly again. For many people, this stage feels like the body is rebuilding balance from the inside out. When the gut lining begins to recover and digestion becomes more stable, many people start noticing subtle changes throughout the body. A healthier digestive barrier may help the body process food more efficiently and may reduce irritation that sometimes contributes to ongoing discomfort. Over time, this shift may help calm the low-grade inflammation that some researchers believe plays a role in everyday aches and fatigue. Around the second week of reducing foods like bread, some people report surprising improvements in how their bodies feel. Some people report feeling less overall stiffness as their diet and digestion patterns change. That familiar ache in the lower back or knees may become less noticeable. Even small things, like how your hands feel in the morning, can begin to change. These shifts often happen gradually. When the body spends less energy dealing with digestive stress, it can focus more on recovery and balance. Nutrients from other foods may be absorbed more effectively, helping support energy and overall well-being. Many people describe feeling lighter and more mobile, almost like their body is finally moving with less resistance. But the most surprising change does not happen in your stomach or on the scale. It happens in your brain during week 3. By the third week, many people begin noticing a shift in how their body responds to hunger and fullness. Appetite can start feeling more predictable, and meals may feel more satisfying than before. Part of this change may involve hormones that help regulate appetite, including one called leptin. Leptin acts like a messenger between the body and the brain, helping signal when enough food has been eaten. Diets that rely heavily on refined carbohydrates can sometimes make those signals harder for the body to interpret clearly. This may leave people feeling full physically, yet still wanting something more to eat. When foods like bread become less frequent in the diet, some individuals report that these hunger signals begin to feel clearer over time. Around the third week, meals may start to feel naturally complete. Instead of relying purely on willpower to stop eating, the body may begin sending stronger cues of satisfaction. Many people describe this stage as a return to a more natural rhythm with food, where hunger arrives gently and fullness feels easier to recognize. By the fourth week, many people begin noticing more visible changes in their body and energy levels. The adjustment period is largely behind them, and daily eating patterns may start to feel more stable and sustainable. Without frequent spikes from refined carbohydrates, the body often becomes better at managing its available energy sources. One important shift involves how the body uses stored energy. When insulin levels are not constantly elevated, the body may find it easier to access stored fat between meals. Instead of relying mainly on quick bursts of energy from processed grains, the body can gradually turn to its own reserves when needed. During this stage, some people notice that their clothes begin to fit a little differently. A belt may tighten by a notch, or shirts may feel looser around the waist. These changes usually happen gradually rather than overnight. With steadier energy throughout the day, many people report feeling less dependent on constant snacks or sugar. Over time, this new rhythm can support a body that feels leaner, more stable, and better able to manage its energy. This shift in how the body uses energy can influence more than just physical appearance. Many people also begin noticing changes in how stable their mood and energy feel throughout the day. Blood sugar that remains more consistent often reduces the sharp highs and lows that can affect focus, patience, and overall emotional balance. Hormones play an important role in these daily rhythms. When eating patterns become more stable and heavily processed grains are reduced, the body may gradually find a steadier hormonal rhythm. Some people report feeling steadier energy and a more balanced daily rhythm as their eating patterns become more stable over time. Some also notice fewer ups and downs in mood or energy as their body settles into a more stable metabolic rhythm. These changes do not happen overnight, but they can build slowly as the body adjusts to a different metabolic pattern. With fewer rapid swings in blood sugar, the endocrine system often works in a more coordinated way. Many people describe feeling calmer and more balanced, rather than being pushed through the day by sudden cravings or energy crashes. Around the 60-day mark, many people notice that their relationship with food begins to feel completely different. Habits that once felt automatic start losing their grip, and cravings for certain processed foods may appear less frequently. Even your sense of taste can begin to shift. Foods that once seemed irresistible may no longer hold the same appeal, while simpler, whole foods start tasting richer and more satisfying. Over time, the brain often adapts to new patterns of eating. When highly processed grains are no longer a regular part of daily meals, many people report becoming more aware of the natural flavors in other foods. Fresh vegetables, quality proteins, and healthy fats may begin to feel more filling and enjoyable than before. Energy levels can also feel more consistent throughout the day. Instead of relying on quick bursts from refined carbohydrates, the body may settle into a steadier rhythm of fuel and recovery. For many people, this stage feels less like following a strict plan and more like a new normal. Food choices become more intentional, and maintaining those habits often feels surprisingly natural. This content is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to support the channel. Thanks for the support.